on the YouTube? Excellent. All right. Well, hey, YouTube live people. Okay. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Couch Stories. That's right. This is another episode of Couch Stories, where we bring to you the very cool guests that we have on the Chicago 60 podcast. Every week on the Chicago 60 podcast, we bring you an amazing special guest who is either an entrepreneur, musician, comedian, or some form of artist here in the Chicagoland area or in the city of Chicago proper that is doing some amazing stuff that we want you to know about. So we have them on the podcast, and then this segment, Couch Stories, is for you to get to know more of who that person is and learn a little about who they are and how they got to where they are and why they started doing the amazing stuff that they are doing. So I am your illustrious host, Justin J. War of the Chicago 60 podcast, the Chicago 60. And I have here with me my good friend, Udit Agarwal, who is from NIU and who is the creator. Well, that's how we know each other. But he is, more importantly, the creator, founder, and extraordinaire of extraordinaires of this new company, Next Wave STEM, which you can go check out at nextwavestem.com. And it's all about helping the youth in the city of Chicago and potentially far beyond the city of Chicago when things go well. Notice I said when. When things go extremely, extremely, extremely well, they will be all over the United States, helping the United States be better in STEM. And that's why you can go to nextwavestem.com and check out Udit and everything that he's doing. So Udit, thank you, and welcome to an episode of Couch Stories. How are you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Now, did you enjoy being on the podcast?
Yes, I did.
Excellent.
Man, you're funny.
Thank you.
You are funny.
So is my illustrious co-host, Ron Russell, who is over there chilling, trying not to have the sound of the basketball game on. But that's okay. Sports are important,
yes,
but not as important as you right now. So let me give a little bit of context. So on the podcast, we talked a lot about what's going on with STEM in the Chicagoland area, what you're doing with your company, Next Wave STEM, and how your programs are helping kids find the spark to be interested in science, technology, engineering, and math type of subjects. And we talked about some of the trends that we're seeing. We mentioned some of the statistics, what's going on in the United States and Chicago in general, and you told us some of the stuff about the trends you're seeing in middle schools through high school, and you know, some of the things that you're doing to help get kids more excited about those programs, because as I said, they're the future, but as you more correctly stated, it is also the now. The now. And the United States needs to be better for the now, and we haven't been. So your company and the work that you're doing is, I think, essential work. It's, I think, we're thanking you by having you here. That's why I wanted you on. I want to thank you for doing the work you're doing. But it's like almost like a thankless thing. Like nobody's really, like people are like, we need to do this, but like then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go get my Starbucks. Like nobody's doing it, but you're doing it. But this segment is not necessarily about all of that. What I want to learn more about is who you are as a person. I've known you, so a little backstory. I know Udit from my days at Northern Illinois University. Huskies. All right, yeah. Ooh, cornfield. The cow. Okay, so we know each other from there. We both were in the business school, right? Now, what the, I don't even remember. It seems like ages ago when we were both a couple of young college men drinking beer and hitting on women, etc., etc., going to frat parties. What the hell were you studying? Because I was a business admin, and then I moved to marketing and sales. What was your major?
It was all blur. I'm sure.
As college is, except for the STEM majors now.
Right. Man, so you know what? When I first got to NIU, I went for nursing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Great nursing program.
Great nursing program, but I was not smart enough back then for nursing. And
So then
I think
we
I
go
would-
to business.
Yeah, now we go to business because I come from an entrepreneur family.
Nice.
And I don't necessarily wanted to do business back then, at least. It was more so like, well, nursing is clearly not for me because I was scared after taking my first biology class, and it was biology 1-on-1, and I barely passed it, and I'm like, whoa, this is not for me. I do not want to put someone's life in danger. So I'm gonna get out of here and find another major.
Yeah.
And I had, thankfully, I had one full summer to decide that. Well, not full summer, but I had about a month. And so, yeah, I realized the importance actually of like how important it is to get early exposure to things, because when you are after high school and if you want to avoid getting in debt, you better pick a major you can stick with or someone you're passionate about.
Yes.
At least for then. So you can, get out of something and not just like leave college and then you owe money to the government and things like that. But yeah,
That pesky
thankfully,
thing we call student loans.
yeah. So thankfully, I was able to avoid it, even though I realized nursing is not for me after the first year. I was able to avoid it and put myself on track to actually graduate early with a business degree.
Nice.
So there was a lot of people involved to help me do that, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay all 4 years. So what I end up doing is get a major and a minor.
Nice.
And so the major was in operations and information systems.
Oh yes, OMIS.
OMIS. Yes. And then
Not Ole Miss, the university. OMIS.
OMIS stands for
Not,
operations.
oh, I missed my shot.
Management
with
and
that girl,
information
OMIS.
system. Right. And then yes, I was projected to graduate in 3.5 years, and I'm like, no, let's stay all 4 years. So I ended up getting a minor in marketing.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my major and minor.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, we met in the business school. We had a couple classes together. We knew we saw each other around. We kind of moved.
Yeah.
I was doing my thing with the HICAG thingamajig.
Yeah.
Pretty
You're
sure
all over
I
the place.
I was a man of action.
You were.
As Ed Brada said, I was a mover and a shaker. Do you have Professor Brada at all?
I did
Marketing?
not. I did not.
No? Okay.
But you were the guy on the move, and I'm like, damn.
Well, now we're both men on the move.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But you set the standard in college.
Apparently I did. Apparently. This is unbeknownst to me, except for now. But yes.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. So now, one thing I didn't know, I was curious about. You did mention on the podcast. So obviously you are Indian. You're from India.
Yeah.
You studied in India up until 10th grade.
10th grade.
Okay. I didn't know this. So
No.
I thought you were born and raised in America. So where in India is your family from?
Agra, where
Agra.
Taj Mahal is.
Okay, well then that's
Sure,
nice.
Taj Mahal.
Very fancy. Very fancy.
Yeah. I was just there actually a couple of months ago, and you could see Taj Mahal from our backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So if you need to
sounds-
visit Agra and
Man, what is the property value on that? In the back, you can see the Taj Mahal. This is a great view for any couple trying to start a family. Really get the juices flowing. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that was built for love. Get the love going. Make them babies. Okay. Oh wow, that's pretty dope. Yeah, and I told you I'm going to India for my buddy's wedding, so I'm gonna be there for a week. We'll talk about that after here. But so what prompted the move to the States? Did your whole family move? Did you just come for school?
No,
what happened?
the whole family moved.
Wow.
And within like 3 years of period. So we all we're a family of 5 and 3 siblings and parents, and so we all came kind of within 3 years apart.
Yeah.
And yeah, and my brother came first, and he started in high school just like me, and his job was to come to America and set the right path for everyone else and do some big things.
And did he do said job per requirement?
And he exceeded, far
very good.
exceeded
Very good.
the dream.
Nice.
And yeah, he pretty much created the set the bar high for me and for rest of us, and rest of it is just where the movers and shakers and just uh, making things happen.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So you come to the States, you go to NIU, you start nursing, you find out, oh my God, I don't want to kill people. This is not the right thing for me. Let me, okay, you go to business school, you get your almost degree, minor in marketing. You get out of college, graduate. You graduated, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's a horrible joke. And then you said on the podcast, was the first job you got was administration and CPS, which you weren't expecting, you said. So how the hell did that happen?
Man, when you're about to graduate, you apply at a million different places and find the fit for you and for the company. And I was going through that process, and through the process, I guess the recruiter got my resume. We talked, and I'm like, you know what, this sounds pretty cool. And I honestly don't even remember applying at CPS.
Oh.
I think it was through the NIU, the job board thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Where you post your resume and then
Right.
the employers kind of pick it up from there.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But yeah, I don't really like directly applying for it. But yeah, they had the resume, we talked, and it worked out. And I'm glad I made confidently can say I made a good decision.
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you make it into CPS, you're in the administrative side of things. And so I don't want to know all the trivial details of all the day-to-day things, but something through that process, I imagine, sparked your idea, your interest, you saw something. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Your life kind of gets thrown on a path. You're like, I didn't expect this to happen. And then all of a sudden you find the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what was that moment for you where you went, I'm going to start a company and help kids do better in STEM? So what was that? What happened? What was that process? What was the moment?
Yeah.
Eureka moment.
Yeah. The first few years was just trying to just learn anything and everything. I'm a curious person. So when I'm on the job or outside of the job, I'm always like, my head is like trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, for working for CPS is more so just learning, just getting involved with stuff and make a name, the corporate name, like I want to get promoted, this and that. So I did a lot of things, a lot of cool things, learned along the way, had good like managers and things like that. And man, you know what it was? Like my first spark to getting into entrepreneurship is I take a trip to India, first time ever since I had moved to the States.
Okay.
And when you go to India, or I would say any like Asian country, we're talking about how Asian market is more of a manufacturing market.
Right. Yes.
And when you're in that, surrounding where everyone owns a business, that's like literally they wake up to it and go to sleep with. And I have lots of most of our family in India is entrepreneurs, and including my dad. But for some reason initially I'm just like, I never thought about like I want to go that path. But I take this trip, meet so many people, and just see like my family's full of entrepreneurs. Like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
And it just kind of like started from there. It's like, wow, this is, you can kind of create your own path. And I saw myself, I'm like, wow, like I can really like, I can like this lifestyle, of it comes with a lot of challenges. I mean, back then I didn't even know what challenges those would be, but people told me it's not for everybody.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what, we'll figure it out. And every day it's like up and down, constant, like a heartbeat, for me, even right now, it's like constant up and down. And I enjoy it, honestly, because it just makes you a tough person. Like what an entrepreneur has to be.
Yeah.
Is making tough decisions and be able to kind of think through things and lot of those type of things. And so yeah, I would say kind of started from there. And I put my hands in a few different things. After that, they first was a fail where I lost money, bunch of money. Second business was I kind of broke even, but I was enjoying the process. Maybe at that time I didn't think I was enjoying the process.
Was this the one with the bottles? The bottle?
Yes.
Yes.
The
bottle
bottles.
service.
Yes.
Yes, I remember seeing you like this, and I was like, this makes sense for Udit. And then I see you doing STEM, and I'm like, STEM? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have that when your entrepreneur mindset kicks in, like nothing is too big or too small, or you can pretty much like get into anything that you can at least develop some interest for,
Right.
Or you care about, or somewhere you can tie it.
Your mind starts to look at things differently.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
How does this affect people? How do I?
Yeah.
How can I make this better? And
yeah,
it's already, the creative juice is already going.
Creative juice, I already knew I have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I have to like set on something and do it right, and be willing to learn.
Right.
And in the beginning, I was not. I was, I wanted to kind of do things my way, this and that. And again, just like anything, you fail, and then you really figure something out. And I think that's where I am right now, is where I have my heart and mind into what I'm doing, and I love it, even though it comes with lots of challenges. But yeah, just the just I don't like the impact we're making. Like some days I come home and I'm just like, wow, like we just worked with over 10,000 kids in just a short amount of time, and just how many happy faces and happy families there are now. And it's not just me alone. I mean, we have a good team, very talented team, but it's just that, when day one is just like a concept and a vision, but now it's all kind of coming together, and we're expanding. We have expanded already beyond Chicago.
Oh, nice.
So we are an Illinois company at the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, and the plan is to launch Next Wave STEM in a couple other states this year.
Most excellent.
Yeah.
What states?
Texas.
Cool.
We're looking into Texas. We're looking into Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
We did a conference in Indiana a couple of months ago, so we're also looking into Indiana. So it might be more than a couple of states, but really right now we're just expanding our team and just ready to make a bigger impact, because with the success we have had so far, we want to make that what we're doing, make it available to more communities, more school districts. So we've seen a lot of success, and it's now we're ready to like really go out there and make this a thing.
Nice. So what then? Now, obviously, I said some stuff at the forefront. I should have let you probably explain this. So I will ask you, what would you say is your overall? I'm sure it's on your website somewhere, but let's hear from the horse's mouth here. What would you say in your perfect world? What impact would you like Next Wave STEM to have, and where do you see yourself being in like 10 years? What's getting you up in the morning? What's driving you to keep doing this, and where do you want your legacy impact to be when people look back at what you're doing here?
Yeah, and I think this might be because I grew up in another country, but I think globally. So I want to build a global brand.
Think globally, act locally.
Yes, exactly. So I think my head is always thinking global.
Yeah.
And I think with Next Wave STEM, because STEM is such a huge thing in US and other countries, next coming years, it's making Next Wave STEM global. And really just stay in the entrepreneurship space. And I haven't thought like very far, but what I know next 5 to 10 years, like making Next Wave STEM a global global brand and really continue to help evolve education.
Nice. Okay, I have that's a nice thing. So this is now just beyond, obviously, just Chicago. So you started Chicago roots, but and not just even U.S., but you're thinking like you're going for like almost a humanity thing at this point. Like next with STEM. STEM is now. STEM is the future. Kind of a thing. So you're like, let's go everywhere.
Yeah.
And just create programs that make learning these technology, STEM subject matters fun for kids. So I know that one of your impetuses is to make it fun for the kids, give them that interest.
Yeah.
So my question to you, sir, is what's one thing in your program that you would say is the most fun project or activity that you've done with the kids that you would, let's say, have fun doing if you were a kid doing it? Your most favorite project in your program?
Man, so for me, all of our lessons are like just different activities, that relate to like real life, make important connections to real world. But my favorite, and this is because just the reaction I get from students, I wouldn't say it's necessarily like I enjoy doing this activity with the students, which is to build that robot from scratch.
It does sound cool.
And so it's like you're building something, and then you're coding it, and you have that play gamification piece. Yeah,
cool.
And then you're learning it. When the student builds that robot, and when they turn on that button and it turns on and moves, the robot that we use do a little dance when you turn it on. And so that's my favorite, because all the kids are like, they're building, spending hours, and now when they hit the button and they're like, wow, I just built something, and this is super cool. And so that's my favorite, because the moments, the aha moments, and the reaction I see, it's just amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. All right, so when you're not inspiring children, Udit, what are you doing when you're not working for Next Wave STEM? What are some things you like to do?
Podcasts.
Yeah, what up? Especially the Chicago 60.
Yes.
Your favorite podcast of all. You love Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're taking photos.
Yeah. Learning
ball of skills.
Learning new skills, like, just watching you do comedy, just, being funny. I like to learn new things. I want to try everything.
What's one thing that is on your bucket list to try that you haven't done yet?
I haven't done yet. I'll learn an instrument.
Oh, which instrument intrigues you the most?
Guitar or piano.
Yeah,
to start out.
Guitar might be easier than piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pain in the ass.
Okay. So we'll go with guitar.
You also are way cooler, by the way. You get all the chicks when you play the guitar. You heard this guy John Mayer? He gets all the women when he plays the guitar.
John Legend plays piano.
John Legend plays, okay, all right. Well, you're classier if you play piano, and you get all the women if you play guitar, okay? Piano, you get the really high class ladies who are like billionaires, and they're like, come to my private jets. I can't, I've got it. But yeah, very cool. Okay. Piano or guitar.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. Well, Udit, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. We got to wrap up this session of Couch Stories soon. But before we do, we have a very special segment on Couch Stories that we have to get to, which I told you about. Don't be too afraid.
You didn't tell me enough about.
That's right. Well, it's now, you're going to learn about it now. It's time for the lightning round. Ding, ding, ding. I don't know why I put in a ding. It's not like it's a fight or anything, or we're not in a ring. I don't know. Fuck it. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ask you a series of, I hope, are simple-esque questions about Chicago. So you've been in Chicago. You've lived in Chicago. How long? How many years?
About a dozen years.
About a dozen.
Oh, in Chicago.
In Chicago. Well, okay. So let's say Chicago City proper. How many years have you been living in the city?
5 years, actually.
5, okay, about as long as me, and then like you've been here for quite a while.
Yeah.
You've been in the Chicago area. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been to Chicago, Chicago, and you had another company where you were Mr. Nightlife over here. I did not hit you up enough for that shit when I was younger. That was my problem. That's me. That's a me problem. But we won't go into that. But that's another thing I want to ask you about. But we'll get to that another time. We'll have you back on in a year or so. We'll do we're gonna have a whole new segment in a year from
then
now.
And now.
Then and now. Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, cheers. Oh, that, my friend, is what we call a callback in the comedy community. When you say something from another thing and bring it back. That was the segment on the podcast for all of you. Go listen to it now. It was amazing. Anyway, so we'll finish listening to this and then go listen to that. Okay, so lightning round. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are all Chicago related, very simple questions, okay? Just give me your first quick answer, or if you whatever the first thing that comes to mind, and we'll see.
Don't get me in trouble.
How you do.
Okay. Don't get me in trouble.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Cubs or Sox? Cubs. Very good. Very good. Ron's going to beat you up later, but that's fine.
I'm running out of here.
No, it's fine. Okay, so you said the Cubs. Favorite other sports team in Chicago, non-baseball related? Bulls. Okay, well, now Ron likes you a lot more because he's a huge Bulls guy. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Chicago-style hot dog or an Italian beef?
So, I am vegetarian.
So then the answer is neither.
Neither.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That wheedles down a few of the questions I have.
What's the new plant-based?
Impossible Burger.
Impossible hot dog.
You know what? That is the thing they might be doing. That actually is. I think they might actually be already doing that.
Someone's about to release it.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, well, let's scrap a few questions then.
But I used to eat.
Which one smells better?
So hot dog and what was it?
Beef, Italian beef. Which one smells better? Which one would tempt you the most to be like, I might try some meat? Probably beef. Yeah. Everybody likes a little beef in the mouth. No, sorry. Jesus, this is already off the rails. All right, let's get back on track here. Okay, Chicago Riverwalk or beaches? The beach.
Ooh. Lately, Chicago Riverwalk.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time at the Riverwalk these couple summers.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, here's, I hope, an easy one. Sears Tower or Willis Tower?
Sears.
Thank you. Okay, very good. Very good. That's kind of a trick question, but very good. Now that we've appropriately
named it.
Yeah, that's right, boy. Cheers.
You just redeemed yourself from that Sox, babe.
Okay, now that we've gotten that clerical situation out of the way, Sears Tower or the John Hancock?
Sears.
Okay, very good. Favorite neighborhood in the city you like to hang out in?
Oh, it has changed in the last few years.
With your hood?
What's my hood? West Loop.
West Loop? Ooh, very nice. Also one of my faves.
No.
Very cool. What's your favorite place to go in West Loop?
A few, but let's go with the Hoxton.
Oh, very nice. I have not actually been there. I will now check it out per your recommendation.
The rooftop up there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now I'm going to get into some questions about your former life. So, best place you've ever done a bottle service in the city?
Oh. Best place. Oh, man. It's been so many bottle services.
This could be because there was the most fun or there was a great experience.
I want to say, let's go with Bounce.
Bounce. Ooh, yeah, sure. Bounce is a good place.
Yeah.
Okay, Millennium Park or Grant Park?
Millennium.
Millennium Park. Okay, all right. Montrose Beach or North Avenue Beach?
North Avenue.
Oh, I know. I had a feeling you did.
Yeah.
You kind of guy. Okay, fine. Yeah.
It's also closer to me.
Yes. Okay. Field Museum or Museum of Science and Industry?
Science and industry.
That also kind of makes sense. doesn't it?
So
I'm like asking him like easy, simple questions.
Yeah,
We should already know the answers. Yes. You drive, yes.
I Uber everywhere.
But have you driven?
Yes.
Okay, all right. What is the expressway you hate the most driving on in the city, in the Chicagoland
Oh,
area?
in the city.
In the Chicagoland area, what's your least
Can
favorite
I go
expressway?
with the southern part of I-355?
Not only did he name an expressway, he named a specific segment of the expressway.
he hates that
That
expressway.
is, and I know
And you
what
know-
you're talking about, and I agree with you. It sucks. It's horrific over there. So bad. It's not good. Okay. Oh man, that's a real Chicago one right there. That touched my heart. Here's a question now. One thing that you didn't know about Chicago before you moved here that you wish you had known.
Man, I don't know nothing about the whole country. Let's just say that.
Let alone Chicago, Justin.
Well, that's an answer.
Wait, you mean what I'm doing?
Have you always lived in Chicago?
No, you're asking when I moved from the suburbs to Chicago.
Yes, thank you for amending my question. Yes.
Sorry. I went to when I was just arriving to the country.
Right.
I don't know a whole lot.
Let's cut that part of your life out and skip it and go to moving to the city. Yes.
Moving to the city. That there's so many small neighborhoods.
Mhm.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I just looked at everything in Chicago.
Yeah, don't say that to Chicagoans.
Yeah.
Fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Okay. North side, west side, south side, or the Loop? What's your favorite area
What's the favorite?
overall?
Right between North and the Loop.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I
Yeah.
totally get that.
That's where I spend a lot of my
That's
time.
I figure that's where you probably spend a lot of your time. Yes, very good. Okay, one thing that you really enjoy about living in the city versus in the suburbs.
Man, so many things, but the food.
The food.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Never run out of options.
Yeah. Well, and being vegetarian, I find that
And that too.
interesting. So where's your favorite place to go get food right now? Where's your spot?
What's my spot?
Where's your spot to go get food right now? Your go-to.
Sultan's Market.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Which one?
Yeah.
The one on Clark
Okay.
in Lincoln Park.
All right.
Mhm.
No.
Okay. Very good. Very, very good. All right. Okay. Couple of last questions. When you're not working and you're out and about, what's your favorite thing to do in the city for fun?
Go to arcade bars.
Oh yeah.
Play some foosball.
Play some
pool
foosball, yeah.
And air hockey.
So where's your spot? You go to a headquarters. You go to
Emporium.
Emporium. Yeah. The one in Logan or the one in Wicker?
Logan. I like that one.
Logan and
Mhm.
the spot. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't even live in Logan. I don't give a shit. They're both practically the same. Okay, cool.
But
All
it's
right.
closer to you.
That's true. It is closer. It is closer.
That's why maybe you did that.
That's smart guy over here. All right. Cool. All right. This is okay. So since you essentially said you did not know anything about anything, one piece of advice you wish you had received about Chicago before you moved to Chicago.
Advice I wished I received. But people drive. Well, no, it's not really true though. like Chicago, like people drive crazy in the city and stuff. But I don't think that's true. I think I drive crazy too.
So don't drive crazy in the city because other people might be crazy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But one thing I didn't know or wish someone told me, I don't know. Oh, maybe about the transportation system. Like it's pretty convenient. Like when I first moved here, I was expecting
Yes.
I would just I don't even know Uber wasn't even a thing back then. So I thought I would just have to walk somewhere or take cab somewhere, things like that. But like transportation's so good, like you can pretty much get anywhere and everywhere in no time. So I wish I found out about the transportation system the first year, not the second year.
What's your line? What's your color?
What's my line?
What's your color? What your color is?
Blue line.
Nice.
That's my color too.
Also happens to be the name of our production company, Blue Line Entertainment Group. All right, last question, Udit. Last question. So I just asked you what advice you wish you had received, but now, what is one piece of advice you would give somebody who's either moving to Chicago or who is visiting the city of Chicago? What is your one piece of advice to that person?
Go get bottles from Insta.
Plug, 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 plug.
Just explore. There's there's so many options for restaurants, so many things to visit. Just be out and about. Now we have the scooters. At least we did in the summer.
Right.
But the advice is just be out and about, explore. Don't let the cold stop you. And obviously summers are always the best.
Yes.
And I think Chicago is one of the best cities for sure. Let's keep it the best.
Nice. I don't think I could say anything any better than that. So that is a great ending point to the lightning round. So Udit, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and on Couch Stories and sharing a little bit about yourself with us. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. It's been good to hang out and see you again.
Years and years.
Yes, and now hopefully this will be more of a common trend.
Yes, we can sit on this couch and just talk
enjoy
and
the beers.
Enjoy the beers.
Just hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
So
thanks Justin for the beer.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Now, Udit, obviously I mentioned your company, nextwavestem.com. Any other plugs for yourself or your company you'd like to give to anybody?
Yeah, check us out, nextwavestem.com. If you'd like to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn. My first name is Udit, last name Agarwal. Check us out and what we're up to and what we're about to do. We have lots of, we're gonna evolve quite a bit. And so this is just the beginning. So we can't wait for the now and then section.
Yes, we will definitely have you back for that, and that is exactly what that title will be. So, Udit Agarwal, thank you so much again for being on the podcast and on this edition of Couch Stories. And for those of you watching on YouTube Live or here on YouTube in general, if you like what you heard here or what you're listening to, either on iTunes or Spotify, again, leave us a 5-star review, hit that subscribe button, really helps us out. Follow us on Facebook at Chicago60, SIXTY. Go there, YouTube, Chicago60, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, because in addition to this type of content, which you can only get on our Patreon page and on YouTube, there are also a bunch of comedy, sketch comedy, and everything we're coming out with, so go do that on YouTube. And also follow us on Instagram at Chicago_60. You can follow us there. More to come from us, but thank you for watching. Thank you for learning about my good friend Udit and everything he's doing. And please go support him, go follow him, and help us as well so we can keep introducing you to amazing, cool people in this city that we call Chicago. And with that, that is another episode of Couch Stories. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again next time.
Nice.